Good morning, everyone. Online students, I'm audible and you could see my screen here. You guys don't change. So where are we, guys? What are we discussing in the last class? We started with our array data structure, right? So we have seen like how do we create an array? How do we store the data into the array? How do we operate on the array? And a lot of examples. I hope everybody finished those all examples, right? Only two? That is great. You're done? I know that you will make it. So is who all are pending? Nice. What happened to those 6 people? That box? Frustration? Okay. So do you want me to solve any? Don't say that everything. Do you want me to solve? What does that smile indicates? You, ma'am. Do you want me to solve anything? No? Kuch? Okay, you are going to try for that. Nice. Anything you want me to try? Assignment pending, sir. Sorry? 2 days of time? Oh, that's nice. If you want time, I can give it. Okay, take some time and try to solve that guy. So everybody is so clear. I think we are in between the methods, right? We are talking about the functions which can, the predefined methods which can be applied on arrays. You have seen like how do we insert the data? How do we delete the data? Push method, pop method, shift method, unshift method, splice method. Those things we have. So, yeah, joining is there. And okay, let me talk about that. Okay, say for example, I'm going with an array, something called as data is equal to array of so-and-so, like this. So now on the top, how do we push, pop, etc. things and all. And we have dot length. Length is a property or a method? Dot length is a property or a method? It is a property. So what is the difference between property and method? If it is property, no opening and closing braces. If it is method, we'll be having the opening and closing braces there. Okay. And yeah, so the next method what we have is there is something called, if I say console.log data, save this. Okay, this is how the array is coming, and everybody is so clear with all these values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What are those? Index values. Are we assigning them? No, by default, it will be assigned to each and every value within the array. Once you create an array, by default, every value within the array will be assigned with the index value. Always starts from 0. Any chance I can make it to 1? No chance. Okay, because it is default, you cannot change it. Okay, on the top, I have a method, something called as console.log something. No, sorry. Yeah, console.log data dot join method. Okay, so there is a predefined method called as dot join method. So what does this join method is going to do? The join method is going to combine all the values into a array of all the values of an array and make it as a string by comma separated. Okay, whenever you say something called as dot join method, it is going to take all the values, it is going to combine it and with a comma separated by default. And if at all you want to change the separator over here, you can always mention it. Like, for example, if I say join, you need to join it where triple ampersand is the separator. Now, when I come back and reload, it will separate with a triple ampersand. So you can specify whatever the separator you want, you can give it. If you don't specify anything, by default, it is taking comma as a separator. If you don't want any separator, just put it like in the inverted commas, nothing you give it. By default, it is going to combine like this. Okay, so dot join is going to combine all the values of an array in the form of a single string with the custom separator. Next. The next thing is, what is the next method we have? Index of. Okay, now I say data dot index of something called as 23. Now when I say console.log data.index of 23, now when I'm going to reload the page, once I'm going to reload the page, it is going to throw it as 0. Why so? It is 23. Okay, I say 123, save it and reload the page. You say 5 is the one which is going to return. So what is the use of this index of method? Anytime you say array dot index of the value, you pass me a value, I'm going to return at what index that variable is present. Okay, array dot index of whatever the value you're going to pass, it is going to return the index at which location the particular value is being present. Okay, next, what are the other methods? Okay, there is something called as console dot data dot includes. Okay, includes something called as 23. So what does this includes will do? Includes is one of the predefined method which will return whether the given value is existing within the array or not. You know, earlier, if at all, I will ask you a question. Boss, they take an array and read a value from the user and check whether that value is present within the array or not. So in that case, what I need to do, I need to run a for loop, I equal to 0, I less than n. I need to go with each and every value, compare the value whether it is there or not. But now in this case, if at all you want to check whether the given value is existing within the array or not, simply dot includes will return you whether the value is existing within the array or not. Slice is coming from string, right? It is from strings. I'm talking about the array methods. Okay. On the top, there are some more important methods, guys, which is from the ECMA 6 they are coming from. There is something called as map method. There is something called as filter method. Okay. There is something called as sort method. There is something called as find method. Okay. These all are the methods which are coming from ECMA 6. Sorry. No, those are topics of your ECMA 6, REST operator, spread operator, arrow functions and all. I'm talking about the new methods which are being introduced, which can be applied on top of the array. Those are being introduced in your ECMA 6. Those things I'll be talking about. These things I'm parking right now. I'm not talking about this. When I come to the ECMA 6, I'm going to explain much about this. Okay, what actually these methods are, what is the use of this? So any more, sir, includes return Boolean value. Yes, Loka, what actually it will do is, it will check if it is existing, it will return true. See here, I'm passing it as 23. It is saying that true, existing boss. Now I say something called as 233. Now when I'm reloading the page, it says false. So it says that it is not existing within that. Am I clear? So these all are the predefined method: push method, pop method, shift method, unshift method, join method, slice method, includes method, index of, and map, sort, find, filter. So these all are methods which are predefined methods by default your JavaScript is providing, which you can apply it on the arrays. Okay. Array destructuring. So because this concept will be talking when I go with the ECMA 6 concept. Okay, destructuring concept. Any more questions, guys? Two uppercase and two lowercase. Tushar, those are the methods which are from strings, not on arrays. Next, we are going to talk about. array dot fill and array dot copy. So form you're saying? Array dot fill is again method from the ECMA6. Form I'm not very much sure. Just check it and confirm. Okay, fill is again, it will coming from the ECMA6 only. We'll talk about those. Can you please explain the line number 17? Line number 17, data dot join. So dot join is one of the predefined method which can be applied on an array. What actually it will do is, it will take all the values and combine it as a single value. Doesn't matter whether it is numbers or strings or Boolean, because array is a heterogeneous data structure. We might be giving some like any type of data, right? We might be giving some numbers, strings, Boolean and all. It will combine all the values and will make it as a single value with by default comma as a separator. If you want to specify any separator, you can specify that. Hope I'm clear, Pranaychan. Okay, the next thing is strings. So let us say string methods. So what we have seen is, once we create an array, what are the predefined methods what JavaScript is providing, which can be applied on the arrays what we have seen. Now say for example, I say where MSG equal to something called hello everyone, hope all are doing good. Assume this is the message what I have. Can I say that MSG is a string? Can I say that MSG is a string? Anything what I give in inverted commas is what? String. Okay. You're so confident, ma'am. It is no. So anything, whatever you give within inverted commas, that is string, right? Either it is single colon or double colon, it is a string. Now, once you give any of the string, on the top, you have some predefined methods. Okay. Once I say, for example, where data is equal to an array with some values, we have seen like what are the predefined methods which can be applied, join method, etc. things and all. But when I treat a method or variable as a string, you have some predefined methods which can be applied on the particular string. Okay, there are n number of predefined methods which can be applied on this MSG string. So what are those methods? Let's have a look on this. So before understanding what are the methods we have here, first of all, you need to understand what do you mean by memory allocation of the string. Internally within your memory, how the memory allocation happens for a string, you need to have a look on this. Let's have a look on this. For example, I say where a is equal to say some 90. I say where say some b is equal to say some 100. I say where some data equal to array of 23, 44, 56. Okay, I say where MSG equal to hello all. This is the 4 individual variables what I have created. Okay, let us see how the memory allocation is going to happen differently for all this. Now, the first thing is, this is the memory allocation. For a equal to 90, is it is a continuous memory or a simple individual memory gets created? Individual block of memory gets created. So I go with this block. Okay, so this is a piece of block. I say this is variable a and it is holding some value called as 90. In the same way, for example, if it is b, it is mandated that very next to b or anywhere? Anywhere we can create the memory. Okay, so I'm going to create the memory over here. I say this guy is b and I say it is 100. Are we clear? Okay, on the top, when I say data with some 3 values, continuous memory or like random memory? Continuous memory. Okay, it is going to allocate the continuous block of memory like this, where it is going to divide the block something like this. Okay, now we say this guy as data and this is going to store the data with 23, 44 and 56. Okay, by default, every value within the array will be assigned with an index value. Yes, index values always starts with 0. Now I say 0, this is 1 and this is 2. Are we clear with this? Okay. Now, how the memory allocation for this message string hello all is going to happen? So the surprise part what you have is whenever you allocate the memory for strings, internally memory allocation of a string will be in the form of an array. Okay, even though you are giving as a string hello all, internally memory allocation for strings will be created in the form of an array. As like an array it is going to get created, it is going to take a block of memory. Okay, it is going to take a block of memory where individual blocks will be created like this. This is how block of memory will be created, guys. Under that, it is going to assign individual block for individual character. This is H, E, L, L, O. And even for the space also, it is going to take some block. And this is A, L, and L. This is how the memory structure is going to get created. So even though you are giving a string, you should not ask me a question that, boss, I have not given any square braces, isn't it? While creating the string, am I giving any square brace here? No, boss. But still, how come internally it is creating like an array? That is the default structure. Anytime you're giving strings, it will be creating in the form of an array where all this will be identified with something called as MSG, and every character again will be assigned with a value, the index value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, following with 7 and 8. This is what going to happen with your strings. Any questions? Okay, even though you are giving it as a string, by default, the memory going to get allocated as like an array internally. And by default, every character will be assigned with an index value, including the space. Even though you have given the space, right? Hello space all, but still it is going to occupy the space within the memory. Okay, as it is getting created as like an array, that is the reason we can say console.log, I say msg.length. As like your array, we could able to use the property something called as dot length property. Okay, now when I save it, come back here. Now if you inspect this, now you go to the console, it is going to return the total number of characters, including the spaces. Okay, next. Now, the next thing is, as it is getting occupied in the form of an array, the memory getting allocated in the form of an array, we can even retrieve individual character by using the index value. You know, once I say console.log, when I say MSG, you see here, reload the page, I'm getting the complete message like this. Now, what if you're interested with individual characters? You say console.log MSG of something called as 3. What do you mean by this? From the string called as MSG, give me the character which is presenting at the third position. Come back and reload the page, you get it as L. Okay, so like this you can identify any of the position. Now I say MSG of 8. So give me the character which is presenting at the 8th position. Reload the page, I could able to get it. Any questions? Clear everyone? Okay, take some questions on this. There are some methods, we'll go for that. Before going with the methods, let us take some questions on the strings. Write a program. Why? Yeah, when I say 8, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it is fine? Got it? Space is fine, but 8th position is what, man? This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. This is 6. This is 7. 8 is E, right? But why L has come? Oh, E has come. Okay. Yeah. Write a program. to read a string from the user, and find out the total number of characters within it. What is your answer for this? If I leave this question up to this, string dot length, okay, comma, without using dot length property. Without using dot length property. Write a program to read a string dynamically. Write a program to read a string dynamically from the user. And return the total number of words within it. Next one, write a program to find out list of all the characters which are getting repeated more than once. Next one, write a program to find out number of ovals A-E-I-O-U, vowels, okay, vowels, number of vowels within a given string. Okay, so you just need to identify what all the A-E-I-O-U's you have and what is the total count. Okay, try to use functions there. Next one, write a program to check whether given word is present within the string or not. Given word is present within the string or not. Given word is present within the given string or, sorry, within the string or not. Write a program to check whether given word is present within the string or not. Next one, write a program to check whether given string is palindrome or not. Whether given string is palindrome or not. Next one, write a program to read a string with multiple words. Read a string with multiple words and return a string with multiple words and return a string consists of reverse of all the reverse of the words, reverse of individual words, reverse of individual words from the main string, from the main string. Next one, write a program to find out total number of digits within a given string. Total number of digits within a given string. Write a program to find out total number of symbols within a given string. Total number of symbols within a given string. Write a program to replace a string or a word, to replace all the occurrences of a given word, to replace all the occurrences of a given word, to replace, write a program to replace all the occurrences of a given word within the string to a different one, within brackets, custom string, message, etc. You understood question what I'm saying? What I'm saying is you need to create a string, say some MSG equal to, say some ABC, hello, everyone, hope. One and one. Assume this is a complete string what I have. Now what I'm saying, you identify one of the given string. Say for example, ONE. You need to identify ONE throughout the complete string and replace it with something else. Say I want to replace all the ONEs with something called as ABC, PQR, hyphen, XYZ. Anything you want, you can replace that. Okay, but it should not be the first occurrence. It should be global occurrence. I mean, throughout the given string. Sorry, you do anything. I want answer. Okay. Next, write a program. How many you got? 10. Exact 10. Leave it out. Okay, I think that will be more than enough. If you could able to finish all these 10 programs, guys, you will get expertise on the strings. Okay. Anyway, string is very simple. Nothing much. You have to just work on that. Let me know, guys, if you, you have to try that. If you have questions, do let me know. Okay. Sorry. On arrays. More questions. Yesterday, how many questions we got for arrays? 10, 11, 12. Okay, one repeated. Solved, it is fine. But how many questions I give? 11. All done. Sloka. Guys. Sloka. Sir, number of digits and length programs, are they different? Yes, Sloka. No. It is same, right? The total number. No. Are you talking about the string or you're talking about array methods, Sloka? String, right? Yeah, for string, it is different. First thing is you need to identify how many total number of strings you have. And the second thing is you need to identify the total number of digits existing within a string. I mean to say for example, there is 1, there is 3, there is 4, 3, something like this. So on this string, how many digits are there? That is what you need to calculate. Okay, fine. Can you please share yesterday's recording video? I messaged you in the Telegram. Guys, I know that people are messaging me. I'm not responding back. The reason is I haven't yet received. Like even by today, I haven't received the yesterday's recording. I'm still having only till 12th. So only once I get it, I'm going to share it. So guys, whoever is recording, could you please make it ASAP? Maybe by the end of the day, if you could able to share it, right? It'll be easy for me to share with others. Okay? Yeah. So yeah, coming back to the string, we have seen that the very first property what we have is dot length property. Length is going to return the total number of characters within the given string, including the spaces. Okay, fine. And the next thing is, as the string is getting occupied in the form of, as the string memory is getting allocated as like an array, you could able to get individual characters based on the index value also. Okay, string name, a square of whatever the index value, you could able to get it out. Now, what is the very first method we have? Caret. Okay. Now, when I say console dot log msg dot caret is one of the predefined method. If I say char at 8, come back and reload this guy. Is it showing the same? If I say directly message of 8 or char at 8, it is both are going to do the same. It is going to simply return you what is the character which is present at the particular position 8. Okay, either you can do this guy at line number 21 or you can do this line number 23. Are we clear? Okay, so anytime you want to get out, find the individual character, you can simply say msg of so and so, I mean string of array index or string dot char at. Next, char code, right? Yeah, so that's an important thing. Let's have a look. So what do you mean by, okay, when I say caret, this is what I'm getting. Now when I say char code at 8, now if you come back and reload, when I say character which is present at the 8th position, it is giving as E. When I say caret at 8th position, it is giving 101. What is this 101? ASCII value. Okay, everybody might be having an idea on what is meant by this ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, everybody would have learned this guy when you're very basics of your computers, saying that boss, computers doesn't understand the human language. They only understand the language of binary, which is in the form of zeros and ones. So what do you, I mean, you know that, I mean, how come then we guys are giving A, B, C, D and all? How come system is taking, even though it understands only zeros and ones? When we have these characters, every character, whatever is present inside your keyboard, all the characters are being assigned with a new ASCII value. Okay. Say, for example, if I say, for example, this is A. When it is small a, when I say char code at 0th position, it is going to return as 97. When I say something called as Z, small z, now when I reload, it is 122. Implies from 97 to 122, you have all the lowercase characters, small case. Okay, small a, B, C, D, E, F, G, H until Z. Now when I go with something called as uppercase, now when I say uppercase, it is 65 to 90. Okay, 65 to 90 is for uppercase characters, 97 to 122 is for lowercase characters. Okay, so whenever you want to identify any of the ASCII character code for any of the character which is present in the string, you can simply say char code at. Are we clear? Okay. Next, what is the next method we have? Value of. I'm talking about. Do we have that value of method in the notes? Give the methods only. Okay, substring, right? I say console.log msg dot sub string. There are two methods, guys. One is substr and one is substring. So what is the difference here? When I say 2 comma, say something called as 10. Okay. When I save this guy, when I reload this guy, how many values you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why I got 8 here? What do you mean by this substring here? The 2 indicates the start index, where I need to start from. I have 100 characters. Now, when I say 2, you need to start at 2, you need to end at 10. So, totally how many characters? 8 characters. Okay, start index, comma, end index. Are we clear? In the same way, there is another method which is called as splice. Let us have a look on this. Now, when I say splice, S-P-L-I-C-E, splice, I'm passing 2 comma 10 only. Now, when I reload, sorry, it's not splice, it is slice. Splice is on the top of arrays. Okay, now when I reload this, am I getting the same? If you see here, either I go with SUB substring or slice, both are going to do the same. You're taking the value from the starting index, you're ending till the last value what you wanted. On the top, there is another method which we call it as SUBSTR. SUBSTR substring. Now when I reload this guy, now you see there is a difference. What is the difference between these two? In case of substring, starting in first value is starting index, second value is end index. So if I say 3 comma 7, how many values I'm going to get? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 implies it's going to give only 5 characters. But here we are going to have start index, comma, length. Now, what do you mean by this guy? When I say 2 comma 10, you need to start at 2. From 2, you give me 10 characters. Now, if I say 3 comma 7, how many characters I'm going to get? 7 characters. 3 comma 7 is you need to start at 3. You need to get 7 characters out of it. Are we clear? So this is a very good logical question people might be asking, guys. What is the difference between slice method or SUBSTR, or what is the difference between substring and SUBSTR? If it is substring, starting index, comma, ending index. If it is SUBSTR, start index, comma, length. How many characters you want to throw back? What happened if end index is not defined? Tushar, that itself, okay. Now you say, for example, you say SUBSTR of 2. So what it's going to happen? It is going to give from that starting index, it is going to give you the list of all the strings. Okay. Any more questions? What is the next? Sorry, ma'am. Repeat. Okay, it's simple, ma'am. Let me tell you. Say, for example, I say where a MSG equal to, say some hello, 1, 2, hello everyone. I want to find out, now when I say MSG dot SUBSTRING, I'm saying some 5 comma 10. What do you mean by this guy? What is 5 here? Start index, comma, if it is SUB string, is it is length or end index? End index. Now, when I say end index, what do you mean by this? you need to start at the 5th position. You need to stop at 5. So what is my 5th position? For 5th position here, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is from the space. You need to stop at 10th position. Okay. Now, if I give the same guy something called as SUBSTR. Now, what do you mean by this? It is starting index and the last guy is length. So totally how many values you are going to return here? You need to start at 5 and you need to get from 5th, you need to find out 10 people or 10 characters over there. Got it? Okay. Now, when I say SUBSTR of 5, 15, how many values you are going to get? 15, because from 5, 15 characters you need to return. But if I say 5, 15 here, how many characters you are going to get? 10 characters. 10 or 11? 11. Don't. What is this lump sum? It is 11, right? Because it started at 5. It will go till 15th position also. So 5 is included, 6 is included, 7 is included, including the 15. Am I clear, ma'am, now? Okay, that's a good question. Now, what he's saying is, okay, boss, you might be saying that 10 here, right? Now, I may say 100. Actually, 100 characters are not present. Now, what it is going to throw? It is not going to throw any error. Whatever you have, I will return you. Not a drawback. It's a drawback of the developer. Developer need to check that. So, we need to write the code in logic in such a way that the second value, whatever we give, should be less than length of the string. Okay. 2, 10 slice and substring both are working the same. It will return you 8 characters. Okay, let us see this. Now, when I say this is the guy, right? Now, when I reload this guy, how many values I got? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. What is the value which is at the 10th index? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Obviously, it is ignoring the last index. It is ignoring the last index. Index -1. When you say 2, 10, from 2 till before 10, which is 9th index. Okay. Then 5, 15 will be 10 only, not 11. Any more questions, guys? Can you please explain line number 24? Char coded. Come on, guys. When I'm passing this guide, now you are asking the question. Okay, what does the char code will return is? When I say I want to find out H here, what I can say? I can simply say msg dot char at 0. Is it going to return H? Yes or no? Because the character which is present at the 0th position is H only, right? But now when I say char coded, what do you mean by char code? It will return the ASCII value of this H guy. We already have predefined ASCII values 65 to 90, which is for uppercase, 97 to 122, which is for lowercase. Okay, we have the list of ASCII values, right? Sorry, uppercase is 97 to 122, lowercase is 65 to lowercase is 65 to 90, uppercase is 97 to 122, right? 65 to 90 is sure. Why you are confusing me? 90 implies 65 to 90 is uppercase. 97 to 122 is lowercase. Why you are getting confused? Okay. So, yeah. So this is about the strings. Next, what is the next method we have? Split. So split is one of the method using which you could able to differentiate or you could able to convert the given string into an array. Now I say var, or else I say console dot log msg dot split. If I am not going to specify anything, so what is the use of split, guy? It will take the array and you can divide the, it will take the string and you can divide it as individual words, or split. The name itself specifies separator. With a separator you can do. Now when I'm reloading this, you see here there is an array of string has come. Why it is not separating? The reason is you haven't given any separator here. Now you can provide the separator here. Now I say within inverted commas, you take space as a separator. Now when I save this, come back and reload the page. Is it not individual words are becoming like a individual, array of all the individual words is coming like this? Yes, it is. And not only the space, you can give anything. Now I say something called as, O is the separator. Now once I reload, see, O won't be there. Whatever the character which you are giving as a separator, before that and after that will become a 2 words, that separator will not be existing here. You see, there is no O inside your string. Okay, what I'm saying is, for example, I take this string. I say E as a separator. Now what is going to happen? For example, this is the guy, right? Now what this guy is going to do is, I'm going to take an array. The first thing is, what is the value before E? H here. So H will become one string here, comma. After this, what all I have? ELL. So this will become a separate string. Now, if you ask me, where is E? E is a separator. So before that and after that will become a string. That will not be part of the string. Are you clear? Okay. So that is what it is happening. You see, when I take O as a separator, this is how it is separating the strings. Now you know the logic of how do you find out the total number of words within a given string. What I can say, can I simply say message dot split dot length. Now when I save this, reload, total number of words are 8. Just with a single statement, I can tell you how many words are present within a given string. You don't need to write the big logic there. Okay, I'm splitting them. Obviously, if I split with a space, I will get the words, right? How many words are there? Dot length will return with the total number of words. Next method, replace. So replace is, for example, I want to identify all the spaces here. I want to replace with a symbol. Now what I'm going to say, I say MSG console log MSG dot replace. You need to replace, say for example, space with what? I will say percentile. Replace is taking 2 parameters. You have to tell me what is the thing which need to replace, and it has to be replaced with what. For example, instead of this, I will say hope. Hope need to be replaced with percentile and percentile. Come back and reload the page. See why it is only 1 percentile. Once I reload this guy, why it is skipping 1? Okay. So if you see, I want to replace the hope with all the 3 at the rate symbols. I could able to replace this guy. In the same way, I would like to say, I want to replace this space with something called as triple at the rate. Now when I save it, come back and reload. How many times it is replacing, boss? Only 1 time. But aren't we having multiple spaces within my given string? Yes, it is. But still it is replacing only first occurrence. The first occurrence only will be replaced here whenever we are going with the replace method. Now what if my requirement is, boss, wherever you have spaces, you need to replace that guy. So how I'm going to do, that is where we will be going with the regular expressions. So what I'm going to say is console.log under this first string to bake 2 backslash here implies you can write a regular expression pattern over here. So regular expression pattern, you know how the space will be identified? Space will be identified with something called as /s. /s is indicating a space. Now when I save it and reload, Again, only first occurrence got replaced here. Now here, at the end of the regular expression, you need to mention it as G. What does that G indicate? G indicates globally, not only first occurrence, and number of occurrences, globally you need to replace. Save this guy, reload this. This is how it is. In the same way, say for example, I have a string which is having hope and there is another hope like this. Now when I save it, reload. If you see here, hope wherever you have got, sorry, I'm replacing the space, right? Say for example, instead of /s, I say hope need to be replaced, HOPE. Now when I reload this guy, how many hopes got replaced? One guy. Why this guy got not replaced? Camel case. Oh, sorry. It's a case mismatch. This guy is having capital H. Now, how do I tell that guy to ignore the case? After G, you can put some I. G indicates global occurrence. I indicates ignore the case. Yes, G and I are predefined. Now, once I reload this page, this guy also got replaced. This guy also got replaced. Okay, so replace is the method using which you can replace. You can find one string and you can replace whether wherever you want. You can find it out. Next, what is the next thing? Sorry, replace all. You don't need, right? In fact, replace itself is doing like this. You don't need to go with replace all. Replace all or with regular expression G is equal to replace all, right? Okay. Now I say console.log msg.includes. So what does this include? The same thing we already have in your array, which will return true or false if the given value is present within the array. Now in this case, now I say include something called as hope. What it will return? It will true. If I say hope 1, 2, 3, save this guy, it will return false. It will take a word, check, it will take a string and it will check whether it is present within the main string or not. Okay. What's the next method? Index of. Now I say console.log msg.index of something called as hope. What do you mean by this? It will return 31. Implies find out the first occurrence of this word called as hope. At what index it is present, that is what we are going to put it inside this. Okay, it will return the index where this particular string is being present in the main string. Next one. Review. Trim method. Okay, trim method. So what is this trim method? Trim method is, say for example, I say, let me comment out all this. I say where some data is equal to, I'm giving something called as spaces here. I'm giving some space, some testing, space, ABC, PQR, S, something like this. Okay, now when I console this guy, data, save this and replace. You see, this is how the testing is coming. I have a space before and I have a space after. You know, the problem what we have is, you may ask me a question, why you are adding the space and why you are trying to remove it. The problem is, you know, whenever user adding some UID or username, okay, whenever user, we are asking that give me a text box where user could able to add the name. Now, when I adding the name, I may go with something called a spaces. When I'm adding the name, I may say space, 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 some Prasad, space, space, space. Now, when I'm taking it, do I need to remove the space before and after the value? Do I need to remove the space before and after the variable? Yes, right. We never have any string which will start with a space and end with a space, isn't it? So that is where we say that console.log data.trim. Trim is a predefined method using which you could able to remove the space before and after the given string. Now, if you refresh this, this is how it is. Okay, trim is a predefined method using which we could able to remove the space before and after the given string. Next, lowercase and uppercase, that's a simple methods. You say anytime you have any of the string, you want to convert that guy. You want to convert that guy into lowercase, you say to lowercase, come back, reload, it will convert. For example, I have uppercase values here like this. See, it will convert each and everything in the lowercase only. In the same way, if I try to find out uppercase, you see, it will convert each and everything in the uppercase. Okay. So to convert the strings into lowercase and uppercase, you can try this. Next, concat. So concat is one of the predefined method using which you can merge multiple strings to form a single string. Now I say something called as var msg1 equal to something called as hello. I say var msg2 is equal to something called as everyone. We say var msg3 is equal to good to all. Okay, these are the three messages I have. Now I want to form a single message of all this. Now what I can say, var main value is equal to msg1 dot concat msg2. Now when I do this guy, I say console dot log main value, come back over here, reload the page. Is it not merging the two strings into single form? Yes, it is. At the same time, you can say msg2 comma msg3. Now when you save it, this guy is also, I mean, at a time, any number of strings, you can merge it to form a single string. That is what we call it as concat. Okay. Okay, so now you are asking why we are using all this method inside the console.log. First thing, why we go with the console? If at all you want to show the value, that is where we go with the console log, right? I want to show something to the user. We haven't yet finished the piece of code to show the value on the page. That is the reason I'm showing the value in the console. Now coming to your second method, why we are using these methods? We are just exploring what all the methods JavaScript has provided, the predefined methods, and what is the use of it. Maybe in future, once you go into the project and all, once you're going to create one big application, there you want to read the user data, you want to trim it, you might be using these methods. Am I clear, Rao, with your question? Many. You know, you can simply say this. Anytime you want to know what all the values we have, right? You can simply say mini value dot. You'll get to see list of all the methods, what all you have. Next, do we have any more else? Anything else? But those are from ECMA 6, right? Okay, I think we have seen this guy. What all we have seen? Charac, we have seen char code, we have seen concat ends with. Ends with will tell you whether that string is really ending with the given string or not. Includes, we already seen last index of. Last index of means, say for example, there are 10 values which have been repeated. I want to see what is the last time it got repeated. So that is where we go with the last index of. Dot length, local compare, comparison, match is a regular expression method. Normalize, post, repeat, size, split, starts with substring to local to uppercase, trim and trim start. If at all you want to only remove the space at the starting, not at the ending, only replace at the starting, you can go with this. Value of console, we already seen menu, message 1, 2. That's it, guys. ToString. ToString is not from the strings, right? Any number to string, that is called as toString. It is not the string. String is always a string. ToString is method to convert other data type into string. So it is not a string method. Okay. So any more questions, guys? Everyone so clear with this? Okay, backtick operator you're talking about, right? Because the backtick operator, right? That we will be talking when we go with the ECMA 6 again. There is something called as string interpolation, replacing the strings with something else, anything you wanted. That we will be using something called as dollar of expressions. Okay, that we'll be taking later in your ECMA 6. Sriram, so repeat GI in regular expression. Sure. Now what I'm saying is, whenever you say MSG dot replace, either you can give the what to find, and the second thing is with what to replace. This is what your replace method is saying. So first thing is what I need to find out and what I need to replace with. Okay. Now, sometimes you may need to put some regular expression also. Regular expression means I want to find out all the phone numbers and replace with something else. I want to find out all the passwords and replace with something else. So in that case, what I need to do, I need to say replace with regular expression. I say slash slash, and the second value is going to be same with what we need to replace. Okay. If it is regular expression, you are going to put some 2 backslashes. If it is normal string, we simply say that what to find, just like a normal string. Now, under this regular expression, you can give some patterns or you can give some strings. And at the ending, you may say something called as ing, which is optional, not mandatory. So what does that I indicates? Whatever the value you have given there, when I'm comparing with the main string, I will ignore the case. When I say G, G indicates not only first occurrence, it is going to be global occurrence. Throughout the complete string, you need to replace with. Hope I'm clear, Sriram. Any more questions? So now we are done with functions. If you remember, we have created the code where we could able to create our own functions, our own methods, like get the student details, show message, read value, get total and average. We have created our own custom methods. At the same time, we have seen some predefined methods what JavaScript is giving. Alert is method, console.log is method, character is method, char code is method, splice is method, push is method, join is method. These all are also the functions or the methods, but we are not creating it. System is by default giving, or JavaScript is by default giving for this. Okay. On the top, what is our next topic? JSON. Oh, date object is there. No, before going with the object, I need to finish the date object, then I will go for that. Okay. So I'll do one thing. I will pause it for today. That is what you said. Okay, so I'll pause it for today. We'll meet again back on tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be talking about the date object, guys. So what is use of date object? Anytime I want to work with dates, like I want to say what is today date? -2, what is the date? And I give my value. I need to say that, okay, I know that it is, say for example, Jan 26, 2024. What is the month of it? Or what is the day for that? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So this all can be identified using your date object. So we'll be working on the date, working with months, working with days, working with years, etc. We are going to work on that tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye for today.